Have you ever felt like you were just different? Like the world doesn't quite see you the way you see yourself? If you were born in August, you might already know what I mean, without ever being able to put it into words. There's something mysterious about August-born souls, not just because they straddle the edge between summer's wild energy and autumn's quiet depth, but because of how they carry light and fire, while often being misunderstood or overlooked in silence. You might think astrology has already told you everything. Leo or Virgo, lion-hearted or meticulous, but this video isn't about horoscope cliches. This is about the hidden patterns, the psychological traits, the karmic imprints, and even the spiritual calling that comes with being born in this pivotal month.
I almost forgot, before we begin, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It may seem small, but it truly means the world to us. It helps the message reach others
and encourages me to continue creating more content that supports you on your inner journey.
What if your birth month isn't just a date, but a message? Why are August-born individuals often late bloomers, deep thinkers, or silent achievers? Why do so many struggle with identity, self-worth, or feeling out of place, while hiding immense power beneath the surface? And what ancient wisdom explains their unique emotional frequency? In this video, we're going to unravel the mind-blowing truth behind August births, from the cosmic symbolism to the psychological patterns, and even the subtle, spiritual tasks these souls often carry. We'll explore real-life stories, Buddhist reflections, and practical insight you can use, whether you were born in August or love someone who was. Stay with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll not only understand yourself more deeply, but you'll start to see your life with entirely new eyes. And one more thing, this isn't just knowledge. This is a quiet remembering. You ready? Let's begin. August is a rare crossroads in the calendar year. It bridges the bold heat of summer with the subtle shift toward autumn's introspection. This duality shapes the emotional and energetic landscape of those born in this month, creating individuals who often carry both passion and restraint in equal measure. Think about it. The first half of August falls under Leo, a fire sign ruled by the sun, while the latter part transitions into Virgo, an earth sign governed by Mercury. This means August-born people are cosmically coded, with both radiance and responsibility. They shine, but they also carry weight. You may feel the tension within yourself, between wanting to express and needing to perfect, between boldness and caution. It can be confusing, especially in younger years, when you haven't yet learned how to let both parts of yourself coexist without conflict. But here's where it gets fascinating. According to ancient Vedic wisdom, transitional times, those in-between moments, hold the most potential for awakening. They are spiritually charged. If you're born in August, you are literally a child of transition, a soul meant to walk between worlds, inner and outer, light and dark, doing and being. Have you ever wondered why you feel deeply intuitive, but often second-guess yourself, or why you crave recognition, yet shy away from the spotlight? This isn't confusion, it's paradox. And paradox is the doorway to wisdom. Psychologists call this tension cognitive dissonance, but Buddhist philosophy sees it differently, as the fire of transformation. When two truths seem to contradict, you're invited to expand, not choose. August-born souls often come into this life with complex emotional intelligence, even if they don't fully realize it until later. This is why many of them are late bloomers, not because they're slow, but because their lessons are deep. So if you've ever felt like you're not where you're supposed to be, remember you weren't born to sprint. You were born to evolve. And if this resonates with you, let me know in the comments below. There's deep power in knowing you're not alone. Ready to see how this signature unfolds in real life? Let's move deeper. There's an odd phenomenon that many August-born individuals experience, especially during their early years. They're often overlooked, not because they lack presence, but because their brilliance arrives subtly on its own terms. Think back to school. Many August-born children are among the youngest in their class, depending on the education system. This single detail can deeply influence their development, socially, emotionally, even academically. They may feel behind, not because they're less capable, but because they were expected to perform at the same level as children nearly a year older. This creates a quiet wound. It may look like shyness. It may feel like underachievement, but it's really a deep imprint of being misunderstood, before you even had words to explain yourself. Psychologists call this relative age effect. But on a soul level, it plants the seeds for something more profound, the journey of self-recognition. August-born souls often learn early that the world doesn't always reward them for who they truly are. So they adapt. Some become people-pleasers, others withdraw. Some chase perfectionism, trying to earn the approval they rarely felt was naturally given. But here's the hidden gift. Once these souls begin to see their own worth, not based on comparison, but on inner alignment, they awaken an unshakable sense of purpose. They stop chasing validation and start radiating quiet confidence. Spiritual teachers speak of the dark night of the soul, a period where the world no longer mirrors back your light, and you must turn inward to find it. For many born in August, this dark night comes early, but it sets them on a path of deep self-discovery. Have you ever felt like you had to prove yourself more than others? Or that your potential was visible to everyone except the people who mattered most? That's not a flaw, that's your calling. You weren't meant to be easily seen, you were meant to emerge when the time was right. And when you do, the impact is lasting, because it's not built on noise, it's built on truth. If this idea speaks to your journey, give this video a like so it reaches others who need it. Let's now explore what kind of emotional and spiritual wiring lies beneath this hidden brilliance. If you were born in August, there's a good chance you've always been more aware, not just of your surroundings, but of the emotional undercurrents most people miss. You may not always express it, but you feel it strongly. This emotional sensitivity is both a blessing and a burden. August-born individuals often walk into a room and instantly sense the energy. They can tell who's uneasy, who's pretending, who's carrying pain, even when no one says a word. But because this wisdom comes so naturally, they rarely get acknowledged for it. And over time, this can lead to a quiet loneliness, always sensing, rarely being seen. It's not uncommon for August-born people to be the emotional anchors in their families, the ones others lean on, the responsible one, the mature one, even as children. Yet this role can be exhausting, because while they're supporting others, they often hide their own struggles, not because they want to, but because they've learned early on that being the strong one is safer than being vulnerable. Sound familiar? Here's what makes this even more powerful. Buddhist psychology teaches that true wisdom arises not from avoiding pain, but from being present with it. And August-born individuals, perhaps more than most, are born with this capacity to stay with discomfort, to sit with sorrow, to transmute it into understanding. This is why many go on to become healers, teachers, guides, or creatives. They've lived the emotions they speak about. They don't preach from theory, they share from the heart. But here's a key truth. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's your compass. The world may have told you to toughen up, to let things go, to stop feeling so deeply. But those very feelings, they are the doorway to your gift. If you've ever wondered why you cry easily, why certain moments stay with you long after they've passed, or why silence sometimes feels more powerful than words, it's not because you're too emotional, it's because your soul is tuned to a different frequency, one that this world desperately needs. So don't dim it. Instead, ask yourself, what happens if I fully embrace this part of me? The answer may surprise you. Ready to see how this sensitivity often fuels a hidden drive for mastery and achievement? Let's keep going. There's a persistent hunger that lives in many August-born individuals. It doesn't always roar like ambition, but it simmers, quietly and constantly. It's the need to master something, not to impress, but to become. This drive often begins with curiosity, a fascination with details, a desire to understand how things work, emotionally, intellectually, or practically. And once it takes hold, it becomes a lifelong quest for depth. Many August-born people are drawn to refining skills, whether in art, music, writing, design, or strategy. Others may find themselves excelling in technical fields or healing professions, not because they chase titles, but because they find meaning in precision. What makes them different is their internal standard. They don't just want to be good at something. They want to become excellent, often in quiet ways the world doesn't immediately notice. But when their work is finally revealed, it's meticulous, thoughtful, and deeply personal. This is especially true for Virgos, born in late August. With Mercury as their ruler, there's an innate pull toward clarity, order, and service. These individuals don't just work hard, they refine, rework, and reinvent until their inner vision is fully realized. And Leo-born August souls. They bring heart, passion, a magnetic charisma that infuses whatever they do with boldness and warmth. When they channel their drive into something meaningful, they become unforgettable leaders, without needing a crown. But this pursuit of mastery can also become a trap. August-born individuals may hold themselves to impossible standards. They may delay starting something until it's perfect. They may fear being seen before they're ready. This is where Buddhist wisdom offers a lifeline: non-attachment. You are not your performance. Your worth isn't tied to outcomes. The journey of mastery is sacred, but it doesn't require perfection, only presence. So ask yourself, what do I love enough to practice even if no one notices? That's where your soul's fingerprint lives. If this resonates with your path, let it be a quiet affirmation. You're not behind. You're building something timeless. Let's now explore how this inner dedication often comes with a hidden burden: the deep fear of failure and not being enough. For many born in August, there's an ache beneath the surface, a fear that no matter how much they give, do, or become, it still won't be enough. This fear doesn't always come from failure. Often it comes from expectation, both internal and external. August-born individuals are often perceived as capable, mature, even exceptional. And while that can be a compliment, it also creates pressure. What happens when your light becomes a standard you feel forced to maintain? In childhood, many August-borns hear things like, "You're so smart," "You're so responsible," or "You're the leader." But these labels, while well-meaning, can build an invisible wall. It becomes hard to show weakness, hard to admit confusion, hard to ask for help. Over time, this turns into a silent struggle, the need to appear together, even when you're falling apart inside. Beneath their strength, many August-born individuals carry a deeply sensitive inner child, one who's afraid of disappointing others or being rejected for their flaws. So they overachieve, or isolate, or pretend they're okay when they're not. But spiritual truth whispers something different. You are already enough. Not because of what you've done, not because of what you will do, but because you are. This may sound simple, but it's one of the hardest truths for August-born souls to fully believe, especially those who've spent years chasing perfection, approval, or external success. And here's the deeper reason. Many August-born individuals are old souls. They carry karmic memory of lifetimes of leadership, responsibility, and sacrifice. This lifetime may be their opportunity to heal, to unlearn the belief that love must be earned. The great teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "You are enough, you are already a miracle." These words weren't meant to be poetic. They were meant to interrupt the lie. So if you've ever felt like no matter what you do, it's not enough, pause, breathe, and ask, who told me that? Whose voice am I carrying? Because the truth is, your worth was never a question. Only your belief in it was. If this truth lands in your heart, let someone know in the comments. You never know who else needs that same reminder. Up next, we'll explore how these souls often navigate deep transitions, and why change seems to follow them like a shadow. Have you ever noticed how often your life shifts, sometimes in ways you didn't expect, didn't ask for, and weren't quite ready to face? If you were born in August, change doesn't just visit you, it chooses you. Astrologically and energetically, August sits on the edge. It's the threshold between the outgoing energy of summer and the introspective pull of autumn. It's a time of ripening, endings, and preparation for something deeper. August-born souls often reflect this same pattern. They live lives full of chapters, new jobs, moves, breakups, reinventions. It can feel like you're constantly being nudged, sometimes shoved toward evolution. And while others may resist change, you've likely developed an unusual tolerance for it. Not because it's easy, but because on some level, your soul remembers that transformation is part of your path. But here's the secret. These changes aren't random. They're invitations. Buddhist philosophy teaches that impermanence isn't suffering, it's freedom. When we cling to the old, we suffer. But when we flow with life, we discover who we truly are. August-born individuals are here to embody that truth, to become living examples of how life moves us and how we can move with it. This is why so many born in August become wise beyond their years. They've had to rebuild, rethink, reinvent, and each time something stronger and more authentic emerges. Still, this path can feel lonely. Friends may not understand why your life seems so turbulent. You may even question yourself, why can't I just settle like everyone else? But maybe you weren't born to settle. Maybe you were born to grow. And growth requires change. So if life has asked you to let go, to start over, or to step into the unknown, again, it's not punishment. It's preparation. You're being sculpted, and every version of you that rises from the ashes is closer to who you really are. If that feels true for you, whisper it to yourself right now. I trust the change. Now let's explore how all of this inner movement creates something rare. True emotional resilience and quiet spiritual strength. Resilience isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like waking up and showing up again after no one checked in on you. Sometimes it's the way you hold space for others, even when your own heart is heavy. And sometimes it's the quiet decision to try one more time, even when you're tired of trying. This is the kind of strength many August-born individuals carry. It's not the kind that demands applause. It's not the kind you post about. It's the kind that gets built brick by brick in private, through every season of challenge and change. Why is this? Because August-born souls, having walked through so many inner and outer transitions, often develop a kind of emotional muscle. They've learned how to process pain, how to find lessons in loss, and how to keep going, not because it's easy, but because they've made peace with discomfort. This resilience isn't just personal, it's spiritual. Buddhist monk Pema Chodron speaks of groundlessness, the moment we realize nothing is truly stable or permanent. Most people resist this truth, but August-born individuals often live it, and over time, they develop a sacred flexibility, the ability to bend without breaking. It shows up in their relationships. They forgive, often silently. It shows up in their careers. They start over, often courageously. It shows up in their inner world. They keep evolving, even when no one sees it. This is why many August-born souls eventually become guides for others. Not through preaching, but through presence. They don't offer shallow advice. They offer lived experience. Have you ever found yourself holding space for others, even when you were hurting too? Or being told you're so strong when all you wanted was someone to hold you? That's the paradox of being born in August. You carry both fire and earth, passion and grounding. You endure more than most, and you grow deeper because of it. So if you felt unseen in your strength, this is your mirror. You are resilient, not because you never fall, but because you always rise. And if that touches something within you, pause this moment and breathe in that truth. Let's now turn to something beautiful that often grows from this resilience, the birth of quiet leadership and authentic influence. Leadership doesn't always wear a suit. Sometimes it wears patience, or humility, or the quiet confidence that comes from surviving, learning, and choosing love over fear. August-born individuals often become leaders without labels, not because they seek power, but because they exude presence. By the time they reach midlife, many have already walked through enough fire to speak with clarity and conviction. They've made mistakes, they've learned boundaries, they've stopped trying to impress everyone and started honoring their own truth. This is when their real leadership begins. Not in corporate titles or public applause, but in how they live. They lead by example, by how they love their family, by how they speak with kindness in moments of tension, by how they choose patience over judgment, and reflection over reaction. And here's the key, most of them don't even know they're leading, but others feel it. They trust them. They seek their counsel. They follow their energy, not because it's loud, but because it's anchored. There's a quiet magnetism in August-born souls. Leo's natural charisma blends with Virgo's thoughtfulness, creating a rare balance of heart and mind. They can dream big and build the systems to make those dreams real. They don't just inspire. They organize inspiration into something lasting. And because many have struggled with self-worth earlier in life, their leadership isn't tainted by ego. It's compassionate, grounded, wise. This is why so many become mentors, guides, community pillars, or role models, sometimes without even realizing it. Have you ever been told, "You helped me more than you know"? That's not an accident. It's a reflection of the quiet leadership you've cultivated through your own healing. Buddhist wisdom teaches that the greatest teachers are not the ones who speak the most, but those who embody the most. If you've grown into this kind of presence, even in small ways, celebrate it. It wasn't easy, but it's sacred. And now let's turn towards something even deeper, the spiritual contract that may be guiding your journey from behind the scenes. What if you chose to be born in August, not by chance, but by soul design? In many spiritual traditions, our birth timing is not random. It's aligned with the lessons our soul seeks in this lifetime. The month of August, sitting at the edge of a seasonal shift, holds powerful metaphysical symbolism, completion, transition, preparation, and refinement. This timing carries a unique spiritual contract, one that often centers around integration. August-born souls are here to learn how to balance fire and stillness, strength and softness, expression and restraint. They often come into families or environments where those traits are out of balance, and their mission is to restore that harmony, first within themselves, then around them. This might mean being born into chaos to learn inner peace, or into silence to learn to speak truth, or into pressure to awaken compassion. These are not easy contracts, but they shape souls with depth. Buddhist thought speaks of the Bodhisattva path, the journey of beings who return to earth not just to awaken, but to help others awaken too. August-born individuals often walk this path in disguise, not as saints but as quietly committed souls who turn pain into service, insight, or art. You may feel this calling even if you've never named it. That whisper inside that says, "You're here for more." Not in a grandiose way, but in a quietly sacred way. The beauty of the August-born path is that it doesn't require a stage. It requires sincerity. Every small act of kindness, every inner breakthrough, every honest word spoken when silence would have been easier, it all fulfills the contract. And if you're still struggling, still searching, still stumbling, that's part of it too. The contract isn't about being perfect. It's about remembering who you are and returning to it again and again. So ask yourself, what if my birth month holds a message? What if my timing was perfect? Let that question sink in, because your soul might already know the answer. In our final main section, we'll bring it all together, exploring the karmic legacy and gifts that August-born individuals are truly here to share. At the heart of every August-born soul lies a quiet legacy waiting to unfold, not the kind measured in trophies or applause, but in how deeply they loved, how bravely they grew, and how gently they helped others do the same. By now, you've seen that August-born individuals carry both intensity and introspection. Their lives aren't always smooth, but they are deeply meaningful, and their presence leaves a mark, not just in what they do, but in how they make people feel. They often don't realize the depth of their impact. Why? Because their influence is usually felt in private moments, the hug that changed someone's day, the word of encouragement that came at the perfect time, the quiet example of someone who keeps showing up with heart, no matter what. This is their true gift. Transformation through presence. Psychologically, they've learned resilience, empathy, and self-awareness through experience, not theory. Spiritually, they've been shaped by their soul's contract to evolve and help others do the same. It's no coincidence that so many August-born people become the go-to friend, the calm in the storm, the voice of reason, the mirror for others' truth. But here's what matters most. Your gift is not in what you fix, it's in what you reflect. You reflect strength, you reflect grace, you reflect the journey of becoming. And that journey, however messy, non-linear, or unfinished, is sacred. In the Buddhist view, life is not about reaching a peak. It's about becoming fully awake to your own nature. And August-born souls often spend much of their lives waking up to their worth, their wisdom, and their ability to choose a different path. So if you've ever questioned your timing, your worth, or your role in the bigger picture, know this: you were born in a month of endings and beginnings. Your very presence carries that energy. You are not late. You are not behind. You are becoming, and the world is better for it. If this message stirred something within you, give this video a like so it can find others on this path. Next, let's bring it all together with simple, practical tools you can use right now, whether you're an August-born soul or love one deeply. Understanding the deeper meaning of your birth month is powerful, but embodying it is where true transformation begins. Whether you were born in August or love someone who was, these tools can help you harness the wisdom and energy of this unique soul path. 1. Honor the season. Within August sits between the wildness of summer and the calm of autumn. Every few weeks, pause and ask yourself, am I in a season of action or reflection? Let your inner rhythms guide your choices. Sometimes you're meant to lead with fire. Other times, you're called to listen and recalibrate. 2. Create sacred integration time. Because August-born individuals often carry both Leo's intensity and Virgo's need for order, your nervous system craves time to process. Try this simple practice. Set aside 10 minutes each day with no distractions. Just you, your breath, and a journal. Ask, what am I learning today? What do I need to release? This grounds your energy, and aligns you with your own wisdom. 3. Release the need to be ready. If perfectionism has held you back, remember, your power is in your presence, not your polish. Take one small step today, whether it's sharing your idea, creating your art, or reaching out to someone. The world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your authenticity. 4. Build a resilience ritual. August-born souls are natural survivors. But even warriors need rest. Choose one simple ritual that nourishes you. A morning walk, a cup of tea in silence, a weekly check-in with your emotions. This isn't luxury. It's maintenance for your inner strength. 5. Reflect on the soul contract. Ask yourself, what lessons keep repeating in my life? What challenges seem tailor-made for me? These are clues to your soul contract. Instead of resisting them, sit with them. There's gold in the patterns. Often, your deepest wound reveals your highest calling. 6. Practice compassionate self-dialogue. If your inner voice is often critical, try this Buddhist-inspired reframe. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. Begin your thoughts with, "Of course you feel this way," or "It's okay to take your time." Gentle language heals deep roots. 7. Share your quiet leadership. You don't need a spotlight to lead. Simply live your truth out loud. Offer encouragement. Model emotional intelligence. Be the calm presence in chaos. These are revolutionary acts in a loud world. And if you felt unseen, start by seeing yourself fully. These practices aren't meant to change you. They're here to reveal you. So here we are. We've explored the cosmic timing of August, the emotional journey it often brings, and the quiet power that lives within those born in this sacred month. If this video spoke to you, maybe it's because you've always known, deep down, that you were different, not better, not worse, just destined. You were born in a month of transition, a month of endings and beginnings, a month that holds the wild sun of Leo and the quiet precision of Virgo. That alone says something powerful. You were built to bridge worlds, emotion and thought, action and stillness, expression and introspection. You may have walked through fire, been overlooked or questioned your place, but you've always been becoming. Every stumble, every pause, every strange turn has shaped the person you are now. And if you're still not sure who that is, that's okay, because August-born souls aren't meant to arrive quickly. You're meant to unfold, with wisdom, with heart, and with time. So here's the invitation. Honor the journey. Reflect on what's true for you. Celebrate how far you've come, not in miles, but in depth. And if this video sparked something inside you, some quiet knowing, some soft remembrance, then share that light. Like the video so others can find their path. Subscribe if you want to go deeper into the spiritual patterns shaping your life. And if you're ready for the next step in your soul's awakening, watch our follow-up. Born to Heal, the hidden life purpose of empaths and old souls. It's the perfect next doorway. Before you go, I'll leave you with this. What if your birth month wasn't a coincidence, but a calling? Answer that in the comments. I'll be reading. Until next time, stay awake, stay kind, and remember, you are not behind. You are becoming.